College decision day for high school seniors is May 1st, and although the season of college acceptance letters can be an exciting time, the gravity of the big choice can bring on anxiety and stress for many kids and parents. Joining me now is David Yadush, who's a licensed professional clinical counselor and clinical operations manager at BetterHelp. David, hello. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So first things first, what are some of the common signs that you and other professionals see from teenagers during this critical time?
Absolutely. So every teenager responds differently to stress and anxiety, right? So you might see things like irritability, withdrawal, some apathy, sleep disruption, and even some other physical symptoms like stomach aches, headaches, and extreme fatigue. So those are some of the symptoms you might see pretty frequently.
What do clients say is the most stressful part of the whole process? Is it the money? Is it the time it takes to apply? What would you say is the top issue?
Well, everyone struggles with the financial piece, right? And they say that it can take between 60 and 200 hours just to complete the application process, getting ready for college, between scholarships and applications, essays, all of those pieces. But I think the overall transition into a new life phase from being a high school student, being a senior, spending all that time with your friends, and then moving into this new step of college, something different, being accepted into the young adult community. I feel like that's probably the biggest challenge moving into this.
Yeah, I will say, having had 4 children go off to college, of course, it's different for each one, right? But that first
absolutely.
one, you realize for the first time, boy, they got to get up and get to class on their own. No one's going to tell them what to do. So there's a lot of parental pressure about make sure you're doing everything you're supposed to do. But do you think there's a lot of peer pressure that plays a part in this as well?
Absolutely. We often think of peer pressure as kind of encouraging bad habits or bad decisions, but there's also the peer pressure that comes from seeing your friends or your colleagues, being successful, of getting the scholarship that you want or getting into a school that you want to get into. So there's a lot of additional pressure in that. And the pressure of, well, why don't you come to this school with me? I want you to be close. So all of that peer pressure is taken into consideration when making college decisions, and teenagers have a tough time managing all these stresses.
Sure. And at the same time, you have moms and dads who are kind of spinning their anxiety right onto the kids and what this big transition means, even though they're excited for them. So what's your best advice for parents about how to handle whatever anxiety they're feeling and focusing on the positive?
So no parent is going to be perfect at anything that they do. And I'm sure parents have learned this at this point, right? As much as you try. But I think the most important thing is just be available to listen and let your teenager know you're there to listen. It can be really hard to talk about these things. It can be really hard as a 17 or 18-year-old to communicate to your parents, like, this is what I'm going through. So as a parent, being able to just say, hey, I'm here to talk about it. I know this can be stressful. How can I help? How can I support you?
And it's always great to have them talk to someone who can say, if you don't like it, you can always transfer after freshman year. Nobody wants to hear that, but I think that is a good message for a lot of high school kids who might have not gone there yet in their brain.
Absolutely. Transfer or change your major, change your life path. It's a big decision.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. All right, David Yadush,
exactly.
who is a licensed professional and operations manager with BetterHelp. Thanks so much for